Good evening. Welcome to Vibing with Vicky today. I'm so excited to be here once again with all of you. And we have a guest on today, so I'm excited to be able to hear what she has to say and how she will be very encouraging to you. But I want to first remind you that here at Naz716 Studios at 6 p.m. weekdays nightly on Monday, we have Clearing the Mist with Ken Hamilton. Tuesday, of course, is myself, Vibing with Vicky. Wednesday is Faith Matters with Dr. Nasir Khan. Thursdays is Keeping It Frank with Frank Hanley. And Fridays is Mind Your Business with Naz. So remember, tune in. That's Monday through Friday, every night at 6 o'clock p.m. And Naz716 Studios have some great things in store for you. I always tune in wherever I go, whether I'm driving, I'm in the grocery store, I have my earbuds in, I'm checking it out. If I'm at the gym, I'm listening. So no matter where you are, you can tune in, okay? Keep that in mind. I also want to remind you to please type in your comments tonight. I'm excited to hear everyone's comments. We will have answers for you as much as possible, but we want to know that you out there. Even if you just type in and say, hey, what's up, girl? I want to hear that today. Okay? So I'm excited. I want to introduce to you our guest, Naz, and this is Naz of Naz716 Studio. I'm excited for her to be able to share on today. She is going to be a great encouragement to women, to men, to minorities, families, because since I've been around Naz, I noticed that whatever Naz does, she doesn't do it by herself, but she does it with the support of her family. So I just want you to hear her story, how she got started, and I'm just excited because I know how God can take a little bit and make much. But let's hear her story, how it may have started off small, but how things began to grow. So let me first allow Naz to introduce herself to you in her own way.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure, Vicky. My name is Nasreen Akhtar. I was 7 when I came from Pakistan. With my family, we moved to Brooklyn, and here we are in Niagara Falls. Growing up in Niagara Falls, we attended local schools, Niagara Falls High School, Niagara University, and we have a family of 3 boys, okay. And my husband and I are here. We started the Naz716, so we're here and very, very excited.
Okay.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about your humble beginnings. Like, where is your family from? And what gave them the desire to just come over here to the States?
So the reason we were fortunate enough to come to the U.S. was my father worked in Saudi Arabia back in the 90s, and he won like a lottery visa. From there, we were able to come to New York City as to have immigration and come to the U.S. as a family. So I feel very fortunate to be able to come as a family, because a lot of times when people immigrate, they have to leave people behind. So with my father and our family, at the time, it was myself and my 4 brothers, and we were able to, back in 91, we were able to come to the U.S.
Yes.
Yep.
And what a humble story. Hi, cuz. I'm glad to see you here from Cincinnati. This is my cousin Debbie Greenlee, or should I say Professor Greenlee. So glad to see you joining us tonight. So, so your father he won the lottery. You said he came here, and so then things got started. It took you a minute to get settled in with your family.
Yep.
How was that time for you guys as you began to settle into the States? Because there had to be somewhat of a culture shock.
For me, I was only 7, so it was probably easier for me to get adjusted. I attended elementary school in Brooklyn. I used to walk to school.
Wow.
My mom used to take us. Yeah, my mom used to walk with us. My dad, from day one, since he came to the U.S., he just worked. I just saw him work hard, leave in the morning, come back at night. And my mother was the housewife, and she would actually go grocery shopping with no English. I remember one of the stories I tell my kids is my mom really wanted to do something. She knew how to sew, so she found a sewing machine, and someone threw it outside on the curb, and we picked it up and she started sewing people's clothes, and she started to make a little bit of money, you know, here and there. So I think from there, you know, watching my parents, my mom work hard, it just was instilled in us to work hard.
Wow. So. Listen, people, did you hear that? One man's junk is another man's treasure. I mean, didn't she bring that? Hey, Cousin Brenda, glad you joined us tonight from Maryland. I'm just happy to see everybody joining us from around the states. But I'm excited about what she said. Okay, somebody threw this sewing machine out, and her mother took that sewing machine. Hey, Malik, glad you're here tonight, because we're talking about taking that little bit and making much. Here's a picture of her mom and dad. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful. But she got that sewing machine out. Somebody threw it out. She began to sew, and she started making clothes for other people. What did she?
Yeah, she started. I remember she used to make these little clips for hair.
Yeah.
That she used to even like sew and then glue on, and people used to wear them and like get work from different factories in Brooklyn, and then you know, and then give them, like, she used to make hundreds of stuff of quantities of things, and then, you know, and that's how she used to get money for it.
Okay. So then you guys traveled over to Niagara Falls.
Yep, we moved to Niagara Falls because this was the closest.
Look at them, beautiful.
Closest city to Toronto, because my grandparents lived in Toronto. So then we moved in '96. So by then I was in middle school when we moved here. So.
Okay, and so now I want to start with the first business and how I met Naz. I was working at the hospital, and we were collaborating because the patients needed to get home, and I want her to tell you about the business on how we got together with this first business that, you know, most of Niagara Falls kind of know her for. So tell us a little bit about that.
So Aero Transportation was started back in 2009. We started it for my father because he was tired of working for people. He's a hardworking and honest guy, and he was not getting that working for other companies. So we started the business for him. So one of the things that my dad is known for is his prompt time and his clean vehicles. And from day one, and that's what I saw. He would spend, and on Sundays he would wear suits, you know, because he knew that was a holy day for the people in the U.S. So he would wear suits on that day, even though for us Friday, you know, is a holy day. But you know, just he wanted to be there for his customers, so he would dress up very nicely, professionally, and we still stand by that. Being for Aero Transportation, being prompt and professional and courteous service.
So everyone pay attention to something she said that was real important for all those that are looking to start a business. Her father paid attention to a gap in services. That's what we call it in the business world, a gap in services. And for people who are in healthcare, you'll say there's a gap in the care, right? So he's seen that there was a gap in services and decided he wanted to do something about it. And I know we're talking to somebody out there. I know somebody is sitting there watching this show and thinking about, man, I've been thinking about this for quite some time, but you haven't gotten up yet. We're going to listen to Naz's story as we go on, and let's pay attention on how he's seen a gap in services and decided, yes, Aero Transportation. I want to back down for a minute because I want to find out what made him choose the name Aero.
I'm not, I believe it was the word, like, eventually the plan was to be able to fly people as well.
Okay.
It was a name that my brother and I kind of like came up with together, and that is the vision.
Look at it, love it.
To be able to eventually have a grow, you know, be in the aerospace.
Oh, the aerospace. Okay. Okay, that's exciting. I'm glad to hear that. So now, for us ladies who's hearing this story on today, the first thing come to mind is we know that most fathers are looking to pass the business to their sons, but somehow it's you. I am so interested in knowing how it got to be daddy's girl.
Well, so at that, we were in, so I was in, my husband and I, we were in Colorado for his work, and and I felt God, like, we went to Colorado for his work, and I'm like, by then I had my bachelor's and master's, and I had 3 young kids at that time, And I was like,
so wait a minute, we got to pause right here. You did all of this going to school while you were having your children all at the same time?
So after I got married at the age of 18, I got my bachelor's, and then we had our firstborn, Qasim. Qasim was, when he was about 6 months, Anas went to basic training.
Okay.
And I had started my master's
Okay.
as a graduate assistant at Niagara University. So, and I was working a full-time GS position at the
Wow.
air base, and then I was working at the school and attending classes.
Wow.
And I mean, I was fortunate that I had my mom to take
Yes.
care of my son.
Okay,
So,
okay.
And Anas was away for about 6 months for basic training. So
wow, that's a long time.
it was a long. It did feel like a long time at that time. Yeah.
Yes.
But I think when you have a vision in mind of what you, because I knew I wanted to get my education. And education, from day one, coming to the country, I knew that as a woman, education is something that no one can take away from you. So I wanted to get my degrees out of the way, and then and then we had Fahad. By the time I was finished with my master's, and then we had
Look
our
at
second
them, everyone.
one.
Very handsome boys. Very handsome young men. Yes.
So after moving to Colorado, I was like, I want to work for someone, but then I would have to put the kids in daycare, right?
Right.
So I was like, it's really not worth it at all. And so one of the
Yeah, the cost.
the cost of the daycare was not worth it. I'm like, and the best person that could take care of children is their own mother.
Yes.
So from that perspective, I was like, the money's not worth it. Because and people would always tell me, kids grow up so fast. Kids grow up so
That's
fast.
true.
So I was like, I have my degrees. I just want to see them grow up. So I had this art threading.
Okay.
I knew the art of threading, and so I had to get my license for the state of Colorado in order to practice threading. I had to get the license for becoming an esthetician. And some people were like, oh, are you sure you want to do this? You're going backwards. I'm like, you know what? I love the beauty industry. I love, doing this. I love the outcome. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. So my husband was very supportive, and he would, when he would come back from work, he would watch the kids while I went to school in the evening.
Wow.
And that was like a 6-month period, and I was able to start my Beauty by Naz business from there, and it was very, it was difficult, because you still have to cook and clean and take care of the kids, and then with no family around, that's my first room.
Okay.
Yes. At that time, I'm like, wow, I have a room of my own,
Yes.
and I was very proud of that room, and I was the only person that did threading within hundreds miles in Durango, Colorado. So by the time I left Colorado, I had over like 100, over 100 clients.
Wow.
So at that point, I was finally settled in and living there. And then my brother, and it comes back to that question, why I was chosen for aero transportation.
Yes.
My brother was actually assisting my father in running the business, and he had to go because he was in the Air Force, he had to go work at the Pentagon.
Okay.
So they're like, well, why don't you guys come back? Because he knew, because I used to do the billing for the business.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, let's give it a try. So I came back, and a few months, and at that time I would question, God, I'm like, why did I come back? I finally felt so good in the beauty industry and stuff like that. And I think that when it's time, God, I think that when it's the right time, everything kind of falls into place.
It lines up.
It lines up, and the prayers I feel of my parents, his parents, and our grandparents. So when you put the work in, everything does eventually work out.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah.
Put the work in, everybody. I have to pause right here and talk to you and say, put the work in. Those are some very encouraging, motivating words. So what Naz is telling us today is it don't come easy. and it doesn't come by osmosis, but you got to put the work in. And it's nothing like it when you do something and you get to see the outcome of it. You know, it's your dream, and now you see it coming to pass. You see it in full operation. So I'm excited about what she's saying here today. And another thing I can hear as Naz is talking on to us today is how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? She was going to school. She went and got her bachelor's degree, her master's degree, at the same time being a mom, a wife. You know, that is a lot to take on when you have small children. My son was a little older when I went back for my master's degree, and it was still challenging to taking him with me as I go to school, and I'm in class, sitting him in class and all that. I'm sorry, for my bachelor's degree, he was with me, not for my master's. He was in school at the time. So I just want to motivate somebody, whoever you are, whoever that mother is, that father, that single parent thinking you can't do it, you have to wait for some time now. This is not true. Naz is living proof that if you had the right support on your side, you can do it. And I want to talk about pulling together as a family, because we heard about how her mother stepped in, and how when her brother said he got to go to the Pentagon, we wasn't looking for some outsiders. We looking for family. And I want family to hear this today. You know, because it's time for us to work together as family. I believe there's nothing we can't do when we do it with unity. So we want to go on. I'm excited about the threading business. People who don't know about getting your eyebrows threaded, let's get a close-up on these beautiful eyebrows, producer. Let's get a close-up on her beautiful eyebrows. Not mine, hers. Oh, look at them. They are beautiful. So I'm going to get a close-up on that. So when she's talking about threading, that is what she's talking about, doing the eyebrows, making them look absolutely perfect. Perfect. Okay, and that's a part of her business, right? Beauty by Naz. So you want to talk a little bit more about beauty first before we go into aerial transportation, because they all tying in together.
Yeah. So the beauty business, as an esthetician,
thank you.
I do makeup, I do waxing, the threading, and then facials and makeup.
Right.
I already said, and lashes.
So you had a business even before you got here to in Niagara Falls. You already had a business.
A business, yeah.
Yes. So business was definitely in you. So just so we can step back for a second, what did you go to school for exactly?
So I went to school for business management.
Okay.
So I was able to take, marketing classes and management classes, and I started with political science. I always had my older brother to kind of, like I feel like my kids are so lucky now they have us and they as a guidance for us, because our parents didn't speak English or didn't know what was going on in the outside world. I had my older brothers to guide us, and he was like, you'd be a good teacher. And I remember when I went into my master's, I was like, I'm going to do teaching. When I went into the classroom, I'm like, I don't think teaching is for me.
Okay.
So and you kind of learn along the way, right?
Right.
You make mistakes and you just keep going, and so, and then my master's was in I focused on diversity in higher education.
Okay.
So I worked with the students in the multicultural office. There would be international students, and I would kind of do programming for them. So that was really nice to help. It was a different level, It was nice to help them out.
Beautiful. So I like this also. I want to point out, Naz didn't let anyone dictate to her what she should do. Okay. So she had a suggestion about what her career would look like. She stepped into it. And what I really love, and if you don't walk away with anything else, don't let anybody dictate to you what you should do. If she got there, she didn't like it, she didn't put any more time in it, she pulled out, because it doesn't feel like work when you enjoy doing it. Right. So when I became a licensed master social worker, as a counselor, I counsel people all the time. So it doesn't feel like work. Okay. So when you can do something that doesn't feel like work, and you know what, I'll do this even if I didn't get paid, you in the right business. So now you're doing that. You look at the brothers. Very nice. Very nice. So, and we want to get a picture of her husband up there too. Yes. Okay, he stood by her side the whole time and still is by her side. So tell us a little bit of now. You're going from, Beauty by Naz. You're here now in Niagara Falls. You have now arrived.
So in Niagara Falls, I was put in a place where I was already, like when I came back with the kids, I was put in a spot where I was managing I think it was about 4 drivers at that time.
Wow.
And then vehicles. So it consists of maintenance,
Yes.
dispatching, and then like the everyday duties, calling the clients. Dispatching is just a
Right.
big aspect of the business. So for me, I knew what I learned in college was customer service,
Yes.
making sure our customer service was, from knowing what my dad had incorporated in the business, plus, what I learned in college. I just wanted our service to be the best. But I used to, at that time, I used to look at other businesses around me or and see them grow so fast. And my husband would have to remind me. He would say that just don't worry about that, and you are your biggest strength. You are your biggest enemy or competition.
Oh,
sorry,
competition.
He
Okay.
kind of, you're your biggest competition, so don't worry about what other people are doing, around you. So I think that just knowing that and just taking off with that helped me grow, grow together as a couple, but as a business as well.
Nice, nice. So he was able to pull you out when you started looking around and possibly look at this. I love it. This is a picture of Naz and her husband. So what she just said, that he was able to pull her out when she started feeling discouraged. And I'm excited about that because guess what? You need somebody to hold you accountable. I say that all the time to people. You need somebody to hold you accountable. Whatever your dream is, share that with someone. Because when you share your dream with someone, they hold you accountable to your dream. I had those people, and I love those dream makers in my life. The dream keepers. That's what I call them, dream keepers. When I started straying away from, I don't know if I can finish school right now. Darius was running into some problems. That's my son, and the dream keepers was like, "We got you. We'll make sure we pick him up. We'll make sure he does his homework. You stay focused on the dream." We all need somebody that can hold us accountable, and we need those dream keepers in our life, but it got to be somebody you can be transparent with. Okay, keep that smile on your face.
Give him that look.
Okay, so she had to come in and she had to learn about equipment. She had to learn about the business. She had to learn about dispatching, but all the time she's learning, right? What she said to us is that I want my service to be the best. So if that's the kind of person you are, and that's certainly the kind of person I am going to take a look at the competition because I want to know what they're doing or not doing so I can do that better.
Yep.
All right. So I'm excited about hearing this. So now you get started. You got the business going now. And I'm going to tell you something about Niagara Falls as well as Buffalo and surrounding areas. It's hard for people to keep these transportation businesses up and running. I've seen some businesses that was doing some very shady things in their vehicles. I've seen service where it wasn't top-notch service. But I've seen Naz's drivers out there without them knowing that I'm looking at them. They don't even know I'm in the building. They don't know who I am. And I've seen them provide quality service. Get out, come around the car, help the people outside the car. I said, look at this. And they don't even know anybody is watching them. That's the kind of people you want working for you, right? People you can trust. And I've seen these two. When nobody else would, they would. When the times got rough and not enough drivers, guess who kept going? They did. And they stayed the course. And I want to just briefly talk about that for a moment. Staying the course when times get tough. I've seen it with my own eyes. We've had conversations when it was looking blim, but she's in dim. But she stayed the course. I don't even know if we can continue this financially, but she stayed the course. And, we all going to go through that trying time. But what was the thing that kept you motivated that you can get through this? And then we're going to hit a little bit on Naz716, the business, and then we'll close this thing out. Yes.
So one of the things that I tell people was Anas was gone for his other training when
Okay.
this was 3 years into the business, and then I was raising the kid. I had the kids, so and then I would dispatch. So I kind of going a little bit back, a little bit about. So we got an office, our first office on Military Road, and I was so excited. And then I'm like, I can do Beauty by Naz. He can take care of the other business. And then like a month later, I find out that Anas has to go for training. So I went from for my beauty business, I was like, okay, I got to change everything around now. Anas is not going to be there to help me out.
Right.
So then I went to appointment only for the beauty business. I was the dispatcher, and then when the drivers called in sick, I was the driver as well. So I would drop the kids off, and when I had a really, really tough time, or I would just say my prayers on the go. On the go, just pray, pray, pray. And I felt, we don't drink, I don't smoke, so I'm like, this is my only avenue, like to keep going. Because there was times, of course, I was like, I can't do this anymore, but I would ask my mom for prayers, my dad for prayers, and then just me just talking to God, like I think that helped me the most.
I love it. Prayers on the go. Yes. Now bring us into the business of the business center.
The business center idea started. We always wanted to help the community. We had this vision. So this building was here, and I was like, well, a lot of times people get started. This is a business incubator. So we have small businesses here. There's for example, chiropractor, massage therapist, estheticians in here. I'm looking for some hairstylists as well. I'm going to get the rooms ready for that. And then the other side of the building, we have professionals. We have Bosse's here. We have Ibero. We have the Naz studio, which we're in right now.
Yes.
So I also produce I learned to produce last week as well. So we do this, me and my husband, we do this together, and Tracy's here. Tracy's a great, having a great team member be there for you, and and we're just so blessed to have, especially Tracy in the building as well.
So I want to thank Naz for being here today and sharing her story with us, a story of hope and encouragement, a story of letting us know that you can do it. All you have to do is work hard. She let us know that, God can take a little bit and make much. She started off with a dream, started off with her family. I'm just so excited hearing her mother's story with the, just getting that sewing machine out of the junk pile, and then started just having a full-blown business on her own. I mean, it takes vision and it takes hard work, but you can do it. And I want to see you do it. And I want to see you send in your comments and letting me know about you taking those next steps. Naz, we didn't have a chance to get in today about those missteps, because sometimes you have some missteps. But we don't want to stay focused long on missteps. We want to always focus on our next steps. And she let us know that you got to keep moving and have prayers on the go when times get tough and hard, because you never know what life's going to bring. But remember, to the world, you might be one person, but the one person, you might be the world. Thank you for letting us share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Wales,